Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Ah! Okay, I'm going to keep my eye on this guy now. It's dangerous. They let people into the Dalaramas over here.
Doing a tikkun on my seat.
Wait a minute, this is really dangerous. He's in Rav Nachman Seltzer's seat. That means he always wanted to sit there. This is getting a little interesting. Rabbi Isai, if you see this tomorrow, I might be already very close to the Shabbaton. Be'ez Hashem, you guys are coming. Next year. Anybody else in the room? Ariel. So we got Ariel, Mendy, Benny. Swear price. There you go. Wow. Okay, there's a bunch of, since it's nighttime here in Eretz Yisrael, say Shalom Aleichem to some of the guests. What's your name?
Jonathan Abramowitz from Yerushalayim.
Mordik. Great to meet you. Who else? What's your name?
I'm Sherman.
I met you once before. From where?
Daniel.
Oh, Shalom Aleichem. So we have Dani Kaladi. You just sponsored 2 days ago. When was it?
Yeah.
Mazel Tov.
No, it was Sister Possibly.
Oh, that's right. 14 years ago?
16.
16. Wow. How old was she?
41.
Wow. Neshama should have an aliyah. But by Dadi coming here, he's showing that he really wants to be every day. Just the morning doesn't work out for him. If it's in the evening, you'd come every day. So shkoyach for coming. Very nice tzibur. Right after this Shir Be'ez Hashem. Same daf all over again in Hebrew. So this is from one of the guys that emerged just recently, maybe a year ago, like Ariel Simon, because all of a sudden he fell in. Moshe Cohen from Bnei Brak. His daughter, you can see her name even on top. I didn't realize over there. She took a picture of her father learning on the plane on the way to the Shabbaton. Moshe Cohen is coming to the Shabbaton from Bnei Brak. He has a special cover. Oh, you mean the blue is not part of the MDY? It looks like it's one piece. Anyway, he has his little MDY bookmark. He has the shear going. It's all gewaldic. Anyways, and it says over here, Zachinu, that after this flight, he's going to be making a Siyum and Hayris. His goal was to learn an entire Masechta on the way and to make him a Siyum unbelievable. You want to do Makis? Wow, the Oilam has goals. I'm flying with somebody, I can't mention his name. He might have the same last name as me. He might be 15 years old, but I'm not going to say exactly who he is. His goal is 26 movies. Different generation, Says, good morning to the amazing staff. And like, hello, we're flying through the night. If it doesn't work like that. That's not, flights are for this. My kids are asking to fly anywhere around the world as long as they can watch a video, because that's the Shas Heter, Kilo. Good morning on to the amazing staff at NDY. As you know, our special Daf Yomi partner and dear friend Sean Zeitlin is in need of refuah. But I wanted to give a little background on a special connection and how much MDY has contributed to the meaningfulness of our lives. Sean and I attended high school together in the 90s, fast forward 25 years later, and his sons Hunter and Spencer, we all know who they are, and they're coming to the Shabbaton Be'ez Hashem. My son Ariel had been hockey friends for 8 years. Hockey friends. Now, those Americans know what hockey is. It's ice hockey. It's a very, very tough sport. You lose a lot of weight every game. It's very fast and furious, and there's a lot of hits. And my son used to play hockey, and I know what it is. I used to be in the audience. It's unbelievable. Kids go flying, ambulances, concussions. It's gewaldic. So anyway, it's just like this. Into a desire to follow into the Daf Yomi land, turning real American hockey playing boys into young men that diligently learn Daf. Even in the summer camp they attended together. Hunter would learn it after night activity, and Israel would get up 45 minutes early. There's a lot of dedication over here to go at night. 45 minutes early to get up, that's the hardest. We all hope that in this chus, he has a complete refuah. We cannot thank Rebelli and his team enough for making the Gemara accessible to even our 12-year-olds, who until this point, sports was their main focus and thought of learning daf would never have entered this sphere. Azriel will Meir Hashem be bar mitzvah this month and is so dedicated that even though he has to get up at 6 for school and doesn't get home from his hockey game until 9:30 at night, exhausted and depleted, he then sits down to do the daf at 10 p.m. Anybody that has a hockey kid knows the unique smell that those clothes have. Be'emes. It's a smell that you never smelled in your life. They take the equipment, they put it in a bag, and your car stinks. I'm not joking. It's something unbelievable. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, you played it for years. Just that is it's a special. It's very special. He saw that Sean and his family and his role model of a father were learning with Rav Eli, and he wanted to jump on the tzaddik bandwagon as well. It would mean a lot if you could wish him a mazel tov on your bar mitzvah, mazel tov, we're so proud of you. Here we go, there's some pictures over here. I see Sean and Spencer with the hair, we recognize them, and I guess the guy in the middle, that's Israel. Here he is, look at this tzaddik, with his hockey stick. He has his hockey stick on that he can't get rid of. As he's doing the daf, holding the hat, it's a beautiful picture. Masech L'Spansa David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel Amamish. I'm getting excited here because I'm going to get to meet. I met David Solomon, spend the Shabbos with him, Spencer, Sean, all these guys. The whole mishpacha is coming together. Not the whole, I wish the whole, but Masech L'Spansa, anonymous, Lila Nishmas, Doili Shlomi Yehuda Zruchan V'Rog Mitshul Chayim, Asher Shokav V'Lom Kotchum Kol Chayiv, anonymous, L'Zeichen Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben Dover, sponsored by Skybrook Capital, in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki and Shamshi Shlavrik for the devotional Torah study in this year. Joel Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius, anonymous, Atzlach Brooklyn Zubagashmias. Multi sponsors, Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema, Moir Bachman, Miriam, Jimmy Azulai, Refuah Shlema, Esther Bas Luna, Esther Walkenstein, Mazel Tov to my husband, Kalman and Tana Walkenstein on his 40th birthday. Multi sponsors, anonymous, Brachad, Lidai, Brach Tzvinisim, and Shoshana Leah, Yehuda B'Yom Ben Chava, anonymous, Refuah Shlema, Naftali Harris, Ben Hanya Leah, hidden tzaddik in our generation. Weekly sponsors, MDY Zoom Mishpach, in memory of our dear friend, Mr. Henry Rosenblatt, Olav Shalom of Kibbutz Lavi, his friendly and kind-hearted personality, brightened our day. Yehi Zichrei Baruch. Stephen Rubenstein, Lili Nishma, Simi Mirati, Esther Bas Pesach, Mishpachat Rubenstein. Yitz Moshe, in honor of Yosef Irvin, who at 42 joined Chashmonaim Brigade to defend Jewish lives. Tzvi Korlin, for Shlema for Talia Bas Sora, Yuri Friedman, Zech Nishma, Simi Mirasi, Fego Tirtza Bas Reb Doiv, Chai Tevis, thank you, Rebelli, for making learning so sweet. Yishkoyach. Shai Levine, in honor of Rafi Levine's 14th birthday, we're so proud of you. Love, Mommy and Daddy. Mordechai Sapazin Zechin Nishmas, his great grandmother, Maris Rochalea, Basar Shimon Rabin, Zechron Rocha, Meir Neshama, have an aliyah, may she be made Yosh for the entire Mishpach and all of Klal Yisrael. Daniel and Rachel Rosenbaum, B'schus Refuah Shlema for Tzadok Melech Ben Etofegel. MDY Art, anonymous, Yosef Ben Chai Sora for Parnas B'Revach, Refuah Shlema, Yehonatan Eitan Ben B'Sheva Bracha, Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Hayel Esther. This anonymous Yosef Ben Chai Sora for Parnas B'Revach is new? Whatever, I'm confused. I thought we started off with the Refuah Shlema from Yehonatan Eitan, no? Not really? Okay. Boys, here we go. We are holding Daf Kuf Tes Vav Omid Aleph. Oh, let's start off with a little bit of, where is it? It's hidden. Wow. Looking forward. They're they have -3 hours. You have to understand that the Teva video, all that production in less than a day. We used to have a team of guys that would put together 3D animations of the bulls and all that stuff in Baba Kama, Baba Basra, Baba Mitzia, all those Masechta Sanhedrin. 3-4 days per video, shorter, 10 seconds, and the quality and the it's just unbelievable. And now they're on to the next. And they did one, and I said, you know what? Let's go for another one. Mendy had a great idea, actually. We were looking for an idea. I gave them one, and we switched it in the middle to Mendy's idea. You'll see it soon. So here goes. Rabboisai, you have a Mitzorah. And one of the korbanos a Mitzorah brings is an Asham. So here goes. It's Sarat. It's an Asham. It's like a Chatos. So they're taking it from the Beis HaMikdash, it's supposed to go in the Beis HaMikdash, and they're going to a bama outside. Now, there's one thing if he burnt it as an asham. It's another thing if he thought in his mind that it's an oila. What is it called when he thinks in his mind that it's an Oila, not an Asham? Even though it has a necklace that says Asham, that's called Shaloi Lishma. Shaloi Lishma. So again, there's two things going on here. First of all, he took it outside of the Beis HaMikdash, and also he was markev it Shaloi Lishma. So now we saw we have a machlokes. Yesterday we learned, we'll just read the two lines here on the bottom of Kuf Yudalim and Beis, Omer Rav Chilkiah the Beir Rav Toivi, because that's basically who we're discussing today. I have to tell you, let me preface that this Amud is talking about Rav Chilkiah by Rav Toivi, and then we go into basically a Gadata. Some of it is a Gadata, much, much easier stuff. Almost the whole Amud of a Gadata, Amud Beis. So it says the Gemara like this, Leishanu ela shlishmai. Had the Kayin been makriv this Asham for an Asham outside, that's the Mishnah, that he's potter. Why is he potter? Because the Mitzaira jumped the gun, the Mitzaira came early. Again, it's Mechusar Zman. Mechusar Zman means it's not the right time for him to come. He still has the tzaras in his hand. You saw? Maybe that's the giveaway. He went to the Kain says, no, you're still a Mitzaira. So he goes and he brings a carbon. That's Mechusar Zman, that's before the time. Before the time, had he brought this carbon inside the Beis HaMikdash, what would happen? Nothing. He's not yaitza, nothing. So therefore, if you bring it outside, on top of a bama, he's not chayiv for shchuti chutz. But what happens if he changes his mind? The kohen changes his mind, says, this is not Asham. This is Ayla. So now he changed, it's a shalei l'shma. And now you continue bringing it inside the Beis HaMikdash. If it was inside the Beis HaMikdash, you continue bringing it. Oh, so if you do that same thing outside of the Beis HaMikdash, now you'd be chayiv. Just everything Yiddishkeit is in the head. It all has to do with what's in your mind. So if the kohen had thought in his brain that it's not Asham, it's Ayla, now he made it himself chayiv, not potter. Okay. So the Gemara says, Leiba Misayele. Perhaps I have a raya to this idea that if Shaloi L'Shma, if you switch, like this kohen right here, switching in his brain from a Asham. Look, it says on the sign, if you look closely, it says Asham right over here. It's an Asham. It was a necklace that went around his thing. He even had a cigar. He was smoking. The bottom line is, don't start out with Shlomo. Shlomo, our artist. You said, you talk about smoking, that's it. He is smoking. A guy wrote us an email about the giraffes. This is going to be in a cover for the giraffes.
I'll smoke you.
Yeah. I'm going to miss you. Actually not. You're going to be with me. Wow. You're saying that even in Yisrael, no, it's not. There's no bummers. There's no heter bummers now.
It doesn't have to be a kain for sure. This way. Could have been also a zar.
I guess I hear the hara. I hear it. Yeah, could be right. Says the Gemara, Leim Se'ele. That what? If somebody shechted this asham outside of the Beis HaMikdash, it was Mechusar Zman. A couple of things going on there. This is Mechusar Zman. It's too early. And it's Shaloi L'Shma. You switched it to Ayla. Machlokes. So one sheet. Machlokes whether it gets an lois aseh or not. Leim Se'ele. We learned this pasuk, the famous pasuk that we discussed a lot. Do I have it? I don't even know if I put it in here. Yeah, here. Vel Pesach Hayel Moed Lo Yiviyoi. That the Mishnah brings, that this is the source, that it has to be something, Shalom Aleichem, has to be a source, it has to be something that you could bring into the Oyel Moed. Yachol Shani Moitzi Af Oylas Mechusar Zman Bebailam. Maybe an Oyla. This Pesach Hayel Moed should come to exclude an Oyla that the owner didn't have, like we're talking now, this Mitzaira. It's not time for him. Let's talk about a Yeledis. Simpler. A woman gives birth, right? When could you bring a carbon? Depends. If she gave birth to a male, a boy, then she brings the carbonis on the 40th day. If not, she brings it on the 80th day. So on day 20, she decided to jump the gun and bring a carbon. What is that called? With the Oyla. She brought an Oyla on day 20. That's Mechusar Zman, it's early, Babailim. That the owner, the woman, is bringing it early. Not that the carbon is early. Sometimes the carbon is early. How's that? It's too young. The bird is too young. Whatever it is, they shechted the mother that day, so you can't shech the offspring. So that's Mechusar in the behema. No. The chesaron over here is in the owner. V'asham nazir, v'asham etzoira. Tamad loymar shor mikol mokoim, kesev mikol mokoim, eiz mikol mokoim. It says all these extra words in the pasuk here. Ish mi beis Yisrael sheyishchat shor, kesev, eiz, v'machna. Why do you need all these words? You shechted a carbon. What difference? Shor, kesef. So it comes to include all these things. Biluchata shaira. But it doesn't mention anything about a chatos. If you brought a chatos that's mechusar zman, it says an oila that's mechusar zman, and an asham that's mechusar zman. What's missing is a chatos. Says Gemara b'may eskina. What are we talking? Tell me the exact case. Ileima bizmanoi. If it's talking about, that's one of we're like talking about three different components here. One of them is at the right time and not the right time. So let's line it up. If it's the right time, it's good. Ma'ir yasham afilu chatas nami. Then what's the difference between an asham and a chatas? There shouldn't be any difference. Why does the Brisa talk about an asham? Chatas also is okay. Ela shaloy luzman. We're talking about it's early. Ubemai. Now, if it's early, there's another thing going on. Was it lishma or not lishma? Did whoever shechted it, did he think that it's a chatos or do you think it's something else? Ilim lishma asham amaychayev. If you think that this asham, which is early, and you think that it's an asham, so it's garbage, it's nothing. So why should you be chayev for shechting it outside? It's early, and then you thought the right thing. Elalav shelo lishma. Oh, so l'chayra have mafurish raya that what? That when it's early and it's shaloi l'shma, you think that it's not a asham, it's an oila, is a raya that you're not chayiv. I'm sorry, that you are chayiv. He says that you are chayiv. So Gemara says, no, lo'ilam is mano even shaloi l'shma. We're going to go back. The what? It's the right time to bring it. So what did you ask me? It's the right time, so what's the difference between an asham and a chatos? Talk about a chatos also. Why do you mention an asham? Rabbi Eliezer, no, because it goes according to Rabbi Eliezer. The Omer Makshin and Asham Lechatos. That there's a hekesh between Asham and Lechatos. That what? That if you do Shaloi Lishma na Asham, I think we learned it in the first Mishnah. Let's look it out. I don't remember it. It's in Daf Yud. It's not in the actual Mishnah. We learned it in those sugyas. Let's see the first Mishnah. Omer Rabbi Eliezer. First Mishnah. So Rebbe Eliezer, I should know this better. The Beis Amud Aleph says Rebbe Eliezer, there's no difference between an asham and a chatos. They both smoke. Yeah, they both come for averis. Yeah, you can't just say they both this. He has a limud. It's a hekesh. Just like a chatos, if you do shaloi l'shma. What's the first Mishnah in Zevachim Rabbi side? If you take a chatos or a carbon pesach and you flip the designation on them, you can take them and throw them into the garbage. Says Rebbe Eliezer, I have a third one. The name is Asham. Oh, so Mamela, there's no question over here. What was your question? How come it doesn't talk about a chatos? You mentioned Asham. They're the same. By mentioning one, you mentioned the other. So let me ask you a question. Then why do you mention Asham? Mention chatos, and you'll know Asham from it. The answer is very simple. V'tana tofel v'uadinikr. I want to tell you the bigger chiddush. I'm telling you the one that's not so known. Only Rebbe Eliezer, only from a limud, from a hekesh, I know Asham. Chatos, if I tell you a chatos shaloi l'shma is no good, is garbage, it's pashas. Everybody knows the first Mishnah of Zevachim. By the way, it's the first Mishnah of Menachos. When it talks about a mincha, the Masechta starts the same way. Shaloi l'shma and l'shma. So, I'm telling you the chiddush, the limud. I'm telling you the thing that I learned out from a chatos, which is the asham. So, Nachmal, what was your question? How come it mentions asham and a oila and it doesn't mention chatos? It's the same thing. It mentions a chatos because it's haynu hach. It mentions asham, it means oila. It means chatos. Great. Tashma. Again, I'm trying to bring a raya. If you shecht an asham outside of the Beis Hamikdash, shaloi l'shma, and it's also mechusas zman. It's early and it's shaloi l'shma yichayev, according to at least Rav Chilkiah bar Tuvi, Rav Toivi. Those who argue. Tashma. What's begufa? I don't think we had it, unless I know that Yoshi threw this in. I didn't show it b'daf because I don't remember reading it. Maybe he read it and I missed it. Begufa means we did have it, so he's right. I don't remember. I didn't. what's the halacha here? That if an animal is less than a week old, you can't bring it as a korban. They're making a birthday party because now it's right to go on his bail. Doesn't even have hair. It's like bald. And then Shmini V'Hala, Yerotze. Yeah, that's the pasuk. I don't know. Maybe. Whoa, here it goes. By the way, I don't know if you saw the Shkia last night. What was the last night or 2 nights ago? Unreal. It was like a painted sky. Like it was. You guys see it also? Because seriously, sometimes from my apartment we see a different Shkia than.
I see the red sky.
The red was not shy. It was unbelievable. Avi Kamiansky took a picture unfiltered. It was not shy. Okay. No, I'm saying you didn't use the special. A little different. I think that if somebody brings an oila early, what's early? He brought it was this animal 6 days old, didn't wait until 8. The chatos, bein begufa, bein bebailim, whether the chatos was 6 days old. Or maybe the owner, again, something's it's too early for the nazir, for the mitzvah, whatever, tamad loymar. If you cannot bring this animal today, why? Because it's 6 days old, or because you're still a nazir, and if you shech this outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you're not chayav. How come it doesn't mention anything about asham over here? It only mentions the chatas. But Maya Skina, what are we talking about? We're talking about he did the right thing. He thought that it's a asham. Asham nami lifterei. Then you're not chayv on asham because he messed it up. He did it too early. That what? He thought that this asham is a ayla and you continue bringing it. No, we're talking about he didn't have the right intent. He thought that the asham was something else. It was a shlamit. You're asking why it doesn't mention asham? Because it already mentions chatas. Why did I mention chatas and not asham? It's the same thing, but in the backwards. I'd rather say the source, the chatas, and then you'll figure out on your own. Because if you know what Rabbi Eliezer holds, he holds it. The chatas and asham are the same. So I mention one chatas, and then from there you know it's asham. Tashma. So basically it's the same exact brayso that we just read. Just the Gemara says he doesn't know the limud. Before we said 5 lines from the top. We said right, 4 lines from the top. I showed you the pasuk then. So now we're repeating the same thing. Chazara. I would think to exclude a oila that the owner is not ready to bring it yet. Asham nazir, v'asham etzayra. So over here it says mefurish what? Asham. Asham. Mamish like Reb Chilki Bar Tuvi, that what? You would think to exclude. No, he's chayav. If he brings in asham, he's chayav. Why is he chayav? And I remember he brought a raya. I don't remember what the raya was. Amar Ravina, I'll tell you what the raya is. I'll remind you. Shor mikol mokim, kesem mikol mokim, eiz mikol mokim. I go upon him. What do you see? It must be the Gemara does this whole cheshbon. It must be that we're talking about what case? Our case. That what? It's mechus zman and shalei l'shma. Because if it's not mechus zman and shalei l'shma, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. If it was Bizman and Lishma, it would be Chayev, Bekitzer, and it must be that we're talking about our case, that it's too early and Shaloi Lishma. And that's exactly the Raya that you're Chayev. You're Chayev that what? This is what the Gemara started off, the whole Sugi, you're Chayev when it's too early and Shaloi Lishma. As the Gemara, on my room, what's the question? The cameras, you already answered. It goes like Rabbi Eliezer. That's the same thing. That that whole Torah, we already spoke about it. We already answered your question. Over Rav Nachman, Mishum the Rami the Tara the Veilev Rabbi Levi Tana Levi. We have another contradiction. It says Hashem knows that Hashem Mitzayra Sheshachtan Shalei Lishman. If you shecht an asham, thinking that it's not an asham, it's a oila, like we saw. We started off the shir, yeah. Geschmack these things. I'm getting a lot of feedback, by the way. Somebody left a message today. One of these, you know who he is? He writes, he wrote, he says, I'm doing the shir with you already. He's a famous writer, I guess. And he wants to do an interview. What? Eli Weinstock. You know, anybody hear his name? Anyway, so, you know? Huh?
He writes books.
Books also. Anyways, he wants to interview because he says that he's doing the shir with us for many months. He says you took what he thinks was one of the hardest mesechtas, and now it's mamish fun and easy, and you have all these videos. And a lot of people are saying that. They got scared. Zevachim, oy, catch it. It's geschmack like this, stuff like this. Dumbs down the sugi a little bit. You have a guy that's supposed to bring a asham, but it's too early for him, and he's outside of the Beis Hamikdash. And he thought about it's three things. You really have to keep track over here on three different things. It's outside of the Beis Hamikdash. That's a given. Because that's the whole sugya for the last few dafim, the whole parak. We're talking about a guy shepherding outside the Beis Hamikdash. It happens to be too early because he has tzaras on his hand and it's still on his hand. So it's too early for him to bring his car. And he made a flip. Instead of thinking that it's an asham with a green hat, he thought it's an oila. So, asham knows Hashem tzayis shachlim shel shmon ksherim. It's kosher. Of course, it's not a good asham, so you have to rebring your carbon. You have to pay another $500 and get another carbon. What if the guy is a mitzayra? He's he's still a mitzayra. He's not. It's not time for him to bring the carbon. There's a problem with the animal itself. Why? Because the asham could only be in the first year. The Gemara language, shtei shanim, is not like us. We say he's 2 years old. 2 years old by us means he finished the second year. 2 years old in the Gemara language means he started his second year. It's day 367, 366 on his, it's into the second year. No good for an asham. Psulim. Says the Gemara. So we have a contradiction here. What do? It says Kan l'shmoi. When is it possible? On the one hand, it's possible. On the kosher. So which one is it? Kan l'shmoi. If you do it with the thought, the machshav, it's going to be an asham, possible, because it's not the time. Kan shaloi l'shmoi. There's no chidushim here. You take a asham. You think to yourself, it's an ayla. It's shaloi l'shma. Now you made it kosher. The last line we had on the bottom. How's it possible? You do the wrong thing and it's good. You do the right thing, it's bad. Yeah. We find that by a Korban Pesach. Ravashi Romi Masnisin Abraisa. And Ravashi says there's a contradiction between the Mishnah and the Braisa. What? It says that the Chutz man outside in our Mishnah is Potter. And the Braisa says it's Chayiv. So again, we have a contradiction. Is it Potter or Chayiv? Umeshani, the same idea. Kan l'shmoi, kan l'shaloi l'shmoi. When it's l'shmoi, you do the right thing, it becomes possible. If you don't do the right thing, the Kohen, the Israel, whoever it is outside, is thinking that it's an oila, then it becomes kosher. As the Gemara, at the end of the day, Rav Huna is the one that said the Braisa says, was talking about at least, that when you shecht it in the right time, yeah? The whole Braisa is talking about you shecht it bizmanoi. And now over here we're saying that we're talking about mechusar zman, not that you shecht it in the time. What happened was, he had two ashams for achrayis. Yeah, we spoke about Ralph Hertzka, that you take, to lechatchila he brought two ashams. We had the sugi also, mamish a few days ago. He put a backup, let's call it a backup. Just in case one goes pfeifen, he has another one. And what did he do? He jumps the gun and shechs one guy outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Now, since that guy is available to be an oila right now, the chad minayu mikar oilahi memeli is chayev. That's why he's chayev, says the Gemara, because he's an oila. What did he gain? What we gained is, since there's two of them, if there's one, that's the picture. Send it to Dave. It's real. It's mamish real. It's crazy. Oh, now Baruch Hashem, send it to Dave, and Bezer Hashem will go into the edit, because I'm talking shtusim here in the middle of this. I want to tell the oilam how beautiful Eretz Yisrael is. It's mamish. It's not shayev. Many, many nights we see something not as nice as that, but similar, like a quarter of that, 50% of it. It's beautiful. Every time I see it, you see it also from your floor too? Really? No, because when I'm walking home, I don't see it. And as soon as I get upstairs, for some reason, the higher you are, I think I'm not trying to toot my horn. I live on the top of the building.
But I do have a nice view.
Yeah, so Nachamo, you know why you're chayiv over here? Because one of them is an oila. It's not the pshat, it's a asham that you turn. One of these ashams is like an oila. Why? Because it's the extra. It's a backup. Meila, oili, kidaravuna marav, daf kuf tasvavam the beis, dama ravuna marav, asham shenitik l'riya. If you have an asham that have one of the issues that a chatas has, meisu ba'aleh, and skapper ba'aleh, vlad asham, the 5 chatas meisu. So you send it off to Kevis land. Ushchati stam. Now you just shechted it without any kavanah. Kosher loyla. Automatically it flips to oila. Remember the Gemara said, oh, you should do the same thing over there. The Gemara says, what are you talking about? One is in a keva, one is a zachar. But over here it works perfectly. A nashim is a zachar, an oila is a zachar. Great. Okay, we're going to do the, what time is it? They're coming, fine, beautiful. We do sponsors, and then we have a gadata now. Turn to the Daf. Adar Global, special experts in international payments. Encore Healthcare, l'schus for shtei miliyot, Michal ben Shulamis, l'schus hatzlacha l'kol Klal Yisrael. Says the Gemara, Amalim b'sar chatos. What does it say in the Mishnah? It says in the Mishnah that if you have meat that's edible, here we go. Here's the picture, unfiltered, not using any technology, just regular. But Daf gets his camera every time, like in the Safari also. But we all have the same camera, the same phone as him, no? Okay, I don't know. He knows what he's doing. Kamyansky. No, sometimes he added filters. The Safari is adding shtick. You can do it right on the spot. You tick, 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 a couple of buttons. This, he says, he didn't touch anything. Whatever saw. I was thinking the same thing. I was just on the phone. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Hamalim sarchatos. So Nachama, we're talking. It says in the Mishnah, if somebody takes meat that's edible for human consumption, it's steaks that come off the chatos, it's steaks that come off the shlamim, and you bring it outside of the Beis Hamikdash and you put it on the mizbeach, nothing happened. You're not over. You don't get karas for that. This is not a carbon. This is meat that's edible to humans. Yeah, just going through the list. All these meats from kachim kalim, the leftover of the carbon oimer, which is basically barley, ushtei alechem, and the 2 breads, the 2 loaves of bread that you bring on Shavuos. V'lechem upon him, the 12 breads that we bring every Shabbos on the shulchan. V'shiyar minachas, and the leftover of a mincha. We're almost there. Mamish, Rabboisai, almost starting a new Masechta. For all those that are looking for excuses not to start today, because it's new Masechta, they only need new Masechta. Somebody asked me today, when's the new Masechta? I said, this coming week. You ready? Yeah, I'll be there. Shepatur, how do you know that if you do all this outside of the Beis Hamikdash, shepatur, Talmud loymar oila. It's similar to oila. Ma'oila shi ru'uya lahala. Oila goes up on top of the mizbeach. Of course, ru'uya lahala. Something that goes onto the mizbeach. But leftover mincha doesn't go on the mizbeach. Lechem upon him doesn't go on the mizbeach. All these things do not go on the mizbeach. Menayin shafayoytzek v'haboilel. What about if you pour the oil on top of? I really should show you this. This is Agdama. It's good to know this. How many times do you pour oil on a mincha? We didn't get into it at all. 3 times. 3 times in a regular mincha. Now if it's a mincha schayte, by the way, confusing. We'll preface it over here. You know Yoshi's thing that he goes like this, and then a bunch of flour comes pouring out for 5 minutes, and everybody says, it's that fake thumb thing. That's in a mincha schayte. But in a normal mincha, he's going into very tough stuff. He's doing this into flour that has oil. Not stam oil. Oil on the bottom of the kli. Flour on top of that. Another time oil. Mix it up. Then another time oil. Kitzur. It's mamish dough. So you're going into dough. So how do you know that if you do yitzika, you pour oil? V'haboilo. Here, you see boilo. Let's see. We have boilo over here. Yeah, here we go. Boilo. Basically mixing it up. Be'ezer Hashem, we're going to have it in shear, live.
This is all in the new Gemara.
This is all in the new Gemara in the back. True. That's where I got it from. That's how I knew it's here. Because we're not in Menachas yet. But he did the work already. I believe Kobe actually did this work because Yoshi was in America. So here, it just gives you it's there's 3 stages here. So this is called stage 3. This is stage 4. I was showing you stage 1, Shlav Aleph over here. Anyway, just cool in the new Gemara. I think if I'm not mistaken, 400 people bought Gemaras. And I have to thank Leon, our friend Leon. He printed these here in Eretz Yisrael. The printing shop gave us a sugar a good price. So Yishukayach, good stuff. Anyway, huh? Yeah. Shafa yoitzik v'haboilo. Haboilo I showed you is the mixing it up. V'hapoisis. So let's see if we have poisis. I don't remember. I think we do. Poisis is breaking it up into 4. I don't see it here. Here, this is nice to show. Why not? This is a minchas nedava. You have to bring flour, oil. Now the thing on the left is a little exaggerated. We know levain is not that large, smaller pieces, but okay, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. There's 3 components, 3 ingredients. And salting the carbon. You take the meat of a carbon and you go like this, back, forth, like a lulav, hamagish. We saw you do it in the southwest corner. Somebody showed me in the art scroll that says southeast corner. It's a mistake in the art scroll. Hebrew. Check it out. I don't know. I couldn't, whatever. Somebody walked over to me after shir and said, you made a mistake. It's not southwest, it's southeast. I'm like, no.
Rashi says southwest.
Okay, look, see if you find it. Where's your thing? Your blue, in the blue one. You don't find mistakes. No, then. It was Hagasha by the Mishnah. Probably by the Mishnah. Now you can look over here also. I don't know. It's the same guy writing. Setting up the shulchan. You have to say that's talking about outside, right? We're talking about everything chutz outside of the Beis Hamikdash. So I guess he grabbed the whole shulchan outside of they took it from the heichal, put it outside, and started putting everything on the shelves. Is putting the wicks together. And doing kmitza. And receiving the blood outside of the Beis. How do you know? Just like the carbon, the oila, putting it on the mizbeach is the last thing. Like also putting the kmitza of a mincha, that's the last final thing that you do. There's a whole bunch of avodas in the kmitza, as we saw. But putting it on the mizbeach, being marker of it, that's the final one. So it must be something that's at the end. Mimela, anything that's in the middle of the avodah. Boilel, yoitzik, boilel, all these things, pouring oil, mixing it, these are all in the middle, in the center. Center doesn't count. For that you don't get cars. Next. Actually, Mishkan. It says in the Mishnah that until the Mishkan was erected after Matan Torah, then the Abama was mutter, and also the Avodah was done with the Bechar. The Avodah was done with the Bechar. Now, we saw this, we're going to see the pasuk in a second. Let me just show you where the pasuk is. Over here, the Gemara understands that the Becharim did it. Vayishlach is nare. What's nare? Little kids, the younger kids? No. Referring to the Bechar. A one-time deal. We'll see, one time or until the Mishkan, and the Becharim did it. The Ariel HaKadosh gives some hope to the Becharim, and then I was thinking to myself, he says that Lasad Lavai, and I remember hearing this in the Cheder from Rebbe, and I never saw it, but the Ariel, somebody sent me the Ariel that the Becharim will do the Avodah. Now, I don't know how it works with Gilgulim and this. Maybe everybody's a Bechar. I don't know. Maybe you that are not a Bechar, you are a Bechar. So how does it work exactly? Everybody's doing the Avodah. But kids, Yasser Rav Huna. Yasser Rav Huna bar Rav Katinu kamed Rav Chizda v'kakari. He was reading this pasuk. Mamish, this one that we have on the screen. Vayishlach es nari b'nei Yisrael. Omer lei hochamer Ravasi upasku. Ravasi said that after Matan Torah, there's no more Bechar. It went all to the Kohanim. Savalo Yisuvim Masnisa. So he wanted to ask him a bomb kasha from our Mishnah that says the Bechar went all the way to the Mishkan. But he was about to attack him from our Mishnah, and then he realized he could do 2 for 1. He heard another mistake. L'chayra. Says, that oila that goes on the mizbeach, you don't have to remove the hide, you don't have to skin it. Put it on with the skin. So he says, why should I ask him a question from our Mishnah? The B'char went all the way to the Mishkan. No. Oisvei Braisa, I'm going to get much more for my money. I'm going to bring him a Braisa. And in the Braisa, it's unbelievable. It's big Kishrin over here, yeah? He has a kasha from the Mishnah, then he realizes he said something else, and I have another source that's going to get him on two things. Two different halachas completely. He got him from a Braisa, that's two questions. Sanya. Question number one is, it says over here, actually, hukam ha-mishkan. It says mefurish mishkan, that the B'char went all the way to the Mishkan. Habamas v'toris v'avoida b'b'chayres. Ad hukam ha-mishkan b'chayres. So that's question number one. Question number two is, v'akol ksherim l'karib. Everybody could bring a carbon, even a woman. I'm sorry, no. V'akol ksherim l'karib, every animal, I believe. It means every type of animal. Behema chayav oif. You could bring a giraffe, you could bring a behema, you could bring a oif. Certainly they brought chickens. And this is a big chiddush. Zechar ben a kevais. That's a chiddush. Even in a keva, why? Because in a second you'll see, Temimim u'balei mumim, this is a chiddush gadol ma'oid, that I could bring a balmum, an animal to cast. So don't bring any lions, don't bring anything that's tummy, only tar. V'akol karbo oilos. Now everything was an oila. So the problem over here is not a problem, but the chiddush is that an oila is only a zachar now. And over there it says even a kevas. Great. And listen to this. So that's question number two. It says mefurish over here that they used to skin the animals in the midbar. And you said that there's no hefshes v'nituach. So I got you on two questions. As the Gemara, and this says the Gemara, Rishonim Lasis Kain, and a guy, even in nowadays, Trump could bring a carbon on a bama, could bring a giraffe, Tanoim. The Sanyo, the Kohanim that go to Har Sinai, they have to be Kaddish. That's referring to the B'char that they were doing the Avodah till the Mishkan. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu warns them, you don't come close to, you're like Klal Yisrael, like you regular Yisrael, don't come close to the mountain. Rabbi Yomi who preaches not about you. It's referring to the Kohanim, not to the B'charim. They did the Avodah all the way to the Mishkan. This is machlokes. Did the B'charim go all the way to the Mishkan or not? Bishlam Lamanda Omar Zu preaches not about you. Yeah, what's the question? The B'charim did it. But maybe it was all the way only to Har Sinai, to Matan Torah, not to the Mishkan. And it's a question of 9 months. It's a 9 month from Matan Torah till Mishkan. About 9 months. Sivan, I think it was Sivan. Gitzer. Says the Gemara. Bishlam the Mandam Azu preaches not about Viu. Hainu Dechsiv Hu Asher Dibar Hashem Lema B'Krevei Kodesh. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu hinted to Moshe Rabbeinu that with my close ones, in other words, close ones are going to die here when you build a Mishkan. Now, what's interesting is that Moshe Rabbeinu thought HaKadosh Baruch Hu was talking about himself, about Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu thought, I'm going to build a Mishkan, I'm going to die that day. B'Krei HaKadosh. He didn't tell him exactly what. Now, it makes a lot of sense that B'Krei Vai meaning Nodav and Aviu a Kodesh. Elam Adam Azu preaches B'Chayros, but if B'Chayrim were doing the Avodah, not Nodav Aviu, so what does it mean B'Krei Vai? Heicher means where did HaKadosh Baruch Hu hint to Moshe Rabbeinu that Nodav and Aviu are going to die that day? I hear kids, they think that there's MDY kids. I hope they were told. Heicher Mizah. L'chsiv v'nayat shama l'vnei Yisrael v'nigdash b'chvoidi. V'nayat shama l'vnei Yisrael v'nigdash b'chvoidi. It's going to become kadosh in my honor. Al tikri b'chvoidi ela b'mechubadai. So the hint was that two of mechubadai, the ones that I honor, they're going to die. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't chap what he's talking about until Nadav and Avihu died. So he tells Aaron, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh. Yeah, I'm missing something very, very chashuv. Hold on. Where is that one? So first, let me just remind Ariel. Email number 1. Hajirafot bativa torot utmeot. In other words, this is shtach. If a giraffe is tar, so why do you only show 2? And then here's another one. Dear Rebelli, thank you for pushing the AI videos, which are getting better each time and help clarify the daf. On today's video of Teves Noach, the various animals walked and appeared to enter the Teves Noach. As is known, the giraffe is a kosher species. Hence, 7, not 2 giraffes should have entered the Teva. I think he means 14. Okay, 7 and 7. Huh? Keep up the great work of Kiruv Kiroivim, your Talmud since Pesachim Daf Beis, Avraham Zurav, Kiryat Sefer. So, that being said, here goes.
Hold on, I only see 2 of you here. 7 of you confirmed you were coming. Where are the rest?
Did you pack your bags yourself? Did you do bags yourselves? Did anyone give you something to carry? Where are you staying to? How long are you staying?
Duty free.
Do you know how many cartons of cigarettes we can bring so customs won't stop us?
This is the final boarding call for passengers of Noah's Ark. Please proceed immediately to Gate 3. The rain is starting.
This is the answer, Zora. Smash on the runway. Lamaisa, they made it. And they do go on the... Kitzer, he's answering all the kashes. Don't ask kashes on AI. Rabbi said, no kashes on AI. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Oh. That the ones that I honor, these are holy people. As soon as Aaron realized that his sons are known to the Rebbeinu Shalom, in other words, they're special to him, he was quiet. The Kibel Sachar, he got a lot of reward for being quiet. Shenemar vayidam Aaron. To accept the din ba'ahava, it's a tremendous thing when people go through tsaras, and there's a lot of tsaras, and everybody goes through tsaras. There's not a single person that I know that goes through life without big zets and big ones. Everybody in their own zets and their own way. And the trick is, and the idea is to accept it with love and to understand that Hakadosh Baruch Hu has a reason, and vayidam Aaron. So we were looking for something to show this concept. And I think this might be a good one. Over here, we all know just last week, Shimi Braun, his matzah bakery, went up in flames. And Vayidam Aaron.
Run! Run!
אין עוד מלבדוי.
Geschmack. This is exactly what he did. He gave up those cards. He put up a big sign. Bar Park Matzah Bakery on the front. Unbelievable. All right. B'chein b'David. Yishkoyach Mendy.
Oh, Vayidam Aaron. His whole status is Vayidam Aaron.
There's a status of Vayidam Aaron? I didn't see it. What is it? There's people that go through stuff and
This is
Vayidam.
what his status is Vayidam Aaron.
Really? I didn't chap. Okay. B'chein b'David Oimer. Doim Lashem. Who? Shimi? I hope so. Doim Lashem v'schoi l'loi. That what? Doim Lashem. He's quiet. He didn't say a thing to Hashem. Oh, v'schoi l'loi. What does it mean? Ava b'shemapel chalalim chalalim. Even though he kills from even your own mishpacha, he get some of them die. Atish soik. And you're quiet. V'chein b'shloim ha'oimer. Eislach shoyz Lachshois ve'is ledaber. There's a time to be quiet. There's a time to speak up. What does that mean? Pa'amim sheshoisek. Sometimes you are quiet. U'mekabel sachar, you get a lot of reward for not questioning Hashem's. I'll never forget. There was a tragedy that I was very involved with, and I remember the mishpacha says, "But how could Hashem do such a thing? How could Hashem do?" And it's a common thing to say, and it's sad. To me, it was sad. I remember hearing it like, but you can't put your feet. You can't. If you're not there, you're not there. But what does Hashem want from little kids? The tightest on Hashem. I hear it, but it's chashav when you don't say anything. Shoisik. But listen to this. There's also sometimes you must go out there and scream, Rabbi side, look how beautiful this is. Hashem did a great thing for me. I have a baby, a this, you make a kiddush. You know that you get schar for the reverse also. Hashem is awesome. The what? Baruch does it. The Gdoshim, they go misyaro, misalo. So the whole world is fearful and everybody is elated. It become, I don't know if elated is the right word. They become me'ula. They go up in the darga. The bottom line is elakashi oila. The bottom line: do you remove the hide from the oila? Did they remove the hide of the oila in the midbar or not? So the Gemara Trei Tanoi, it's in fact the machlokes Tanoi in the Sami B'Shmuel Omer klal Yisrael b'Sinai or Pelis b'Omer. That what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave a general overview of the Torah in Har Sinai, and he gave the details later on, 9 months later in the Oyel Moed. Seems like a contradiction to the Psukim, what's going on? Moshe Rabbeinu is repeating what happened over there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave a very general Torah, not all the details. So one of the details that was missing by Har Sinai is the hefshet, that you have to skin it. That he didn't say. He said you put a carbon. Exactly how you do it, that came later on. So there's no hefshet until that point. No, Chas v'Shalom, everything was given at Har Sinai, all the details, everything. So removing the hide was something they did all the way back then. So Mamela, it's not a question. That goes according to Reb Kiva that they took off the hide. It goes according to Reb Shmuel. They didn't take off the V'shtash of Arvis Moev, and the third time in Arvis Moev, Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. I'll see you Beis Hashem from the other side.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.